My idea of love is it's not evil, bad, good, whatever. It just is. Love is everything. But in our idea, like if we talk about society's idea, I would say it is it's quite traumatizing because they align love with fighting and battling and everything outside of yourself. So in that sense, it kind of is because it's pulling you away from yourself and your divinity. The idea of it is nice, but
the idea of what?
Of love in terms of like it being a good feeling and making people feel good and, you know, living in the moment, creating memories. But
is that it though?
But that's what it's not. It's not. It isn't that. It's an idea in terms of what it's become is a level of expectation and conditions. Because love isn't a condition. There is no conditions on it. It is just infinite energy that you know creates, grows life, and you know manifests things. All of that stuff, but it's hard to conceptualize it. You can't put it into a title, a category, all of that stuff. It just is. That is love. Love is life, basically. And that is not evil. But our society has boxed it in and packaged it, and that kind of is, if that makes sense, because it's like you don't get this shit. Because when I'm saying it, when people ask what is love, and they're like, oh, it's, you know, it's being lost in this, and yes, you're kind of there, like lost in time. You just miss the trick because it's like I need to get love from you and you and you, but you are it. You don't need me to have love. You just need to understand your inner mechanisms of who you are and what you are.
When I hear people say like, "Oh, I'm in love," especially with the doctrine that's been used and stuff, I'm like, well, all I'm hearing is, "Oh shit, I'm in hell." Like really, like that's what I'm hearing, and it's only because, like, you know, that version of it comes from a demonic place, from a people that have used that and made it in a way to where they can capitalize and make money off of. Yeah. So it benefits us that you're in love, because you equate gifts with love, you're gonna keep buying things. Yeah. As we say, going outside of yourself. So, you know, even just the simplistic part of flipping it backwards and it saying evil. Yeah. You know, you can't. That's not a coincidence. Yeah. Like it's in it. I believe that the word's been cursed.
So you do think that's why they've switched the spelling up a bit? Because obviously love backwards is Evol, but we associate it to being evil. So we would say, oh, that's not what it is. But when you pronounce it, how it's spelled is how it sounds. Because we say evil, don't we? We don't say evil.
Because let's go even to what you just said about we're in hell. And people are like, what do you mean we're in hell, you know? The way we greet each other. Hell, oh hell.
Morning. Morning. What?
Good morning. Yeah. Which is death.
There is no good morning.
Yeah, morning is you miss. It's something that's gone.
Yeah.
We assign ourselves to sign up to corp orations.
Let me give you flowers. Something that
you give when someone dies, and you give it to when someone's dead already.
You can't really. It's not like a plant.
Yeah, you're not giving someone.
Give it life. Yeah. The flowers die after a certain amount of time.
You know what's funny, yeah? Sorry, you saying that just...
It's true though. This is why I'm really like... I'm conscious
you have to be
about these things. Because you're giving someone something that's dying rather than a planted thing that you can grow.
But it's what they like in people. Because flowers, they look nice.
They smell nice.
But they ain't really got nothing to them. They ain't got shit to them, really. It's like people.
Sorry.
You look nice.
No,
it's like, listen, you look nice as a person, but you really ain't got shit to you. I don't want you.
But it's like
don't buy me that. I don't want that.
looks fade, things aesthetically, things die out, and it becomes boring.
So, presents. Any presents?
Plants,
you
not
give me
flowers.
Plants. Yeah, give me plants.
But do you know what? It's when he said it, I've always been a plant person.
Without a doubt, it's what we do.
You put them in a vase,
we
chop them.
We cut their life source, give them to someone else to celebrate.
So put them into water,
which is
and then give it
which is celebrating death.
Yeah,
which is what the culture does anyway.
Yeah.
When someone dies, you celebrate it.
I've never been a fan of flowers. Sorry, that's what dawned on me the most.
It's crazy.
My understanding, understanding, and overstanding of love for myself isn't, because for me it's always coming from a place. So whether it be going to a place where it's unused, unwanted, invalidated, like it doesn't matter what the outcome of me giving it is, but it's where it comes from within me. So everything I will give is from a pure heart kind of thing. So, and it's in so many different contexts. Yeah. So for example, whether it be friend, partner, my children, or that's to do with how I feel. What they do with it, just like anything else you give somebody, that's on them. But I know when it comes from me, it's strictly pure. Valentine's Day is a holiday that's cursed, right? As we've spoken about in the past about Cupid, a child that could shoot at people. A nude child that has wings, that knows about love or adults being in love, right? The imagery of Cupid, that's pedestry within itself. Mm-hmm. and how them Romans used to get down in their past was through pedestry. It was dark, it was nasty, right? That's the holiday that you celebrate. What does that make you? So what are you celebrating? Because to celebrate Valentine's Day, at its core, you're celebrating that. And you call that love. How is that love? How could that possibly be love? That's a manipulation tool, because even in nothing else,
shiny apple.
But even if nothing else, it then becomes a competitive thing, because it's greater than that. And this is where it comes about sales and money making, because especially with women being more in tune to their emotional sides, as one woman, what did you get for Valentine's Day? Well, my boyfriend got me. So now, hold on, if he loves me, he should be getting me. So for next Valentine's, I want this kind of, and then it becomes who got what? Do you know what I mean? And that becomes a game, which means most guys are spending more money to prove to the woman that he already loves, that he loves her by getting these things. But now it's a competition between the females of, I got this, I got the most kind of thing.
Compete.
And
fine.
But competing is fine. But what I'm saying is, you're doing it specifically on this day, and it's about everybody else. If you love somebody, it's not about everybody else. It doesn't matter what anybody else got, because that's between you two.
Your version of love should not be coming from
anybody.
A bunch of paedophiles.
That especially.
Because minus that, you're not celebrating paedophiles. You're not celebrating paedophiles, man. If there was a holiday called pedestry, you want no parts of that. But because it looks nice, this sounds crazy. Because it looks nice via Valentine's Day, it's okay. We all know what our heart looks like. And the heart that we have, that represents life. Right? That's a piece of it. That heart is not it. Why is chocolate why is chocolate aligned with that?
Yeah, but where did the heart come from? The image of the heart. Where did
Pilgrims.
Yeah, but just randomly, just one day they just said.
I have no idea.
There is no look here in Disney films. You know that thing with shapes? Like everything looks like a breast or a bum, like Mickey.
His ears.
The shapes, the eyes, they're all long, like it's all sexualized. The heart's fucking sexualized. Because you could subtly say, okay, breasts or the bum cheeks or the vagina, like going in and stuff like that. Fam, that's sexualized. So Love's not supposed to be sexualized, is it?
No.
No, because love isn't about
It's not sex. If I'm thinking in my indoctrinated mind right now, every time I think love, I think sexualized relationship. If that
That's
makes
it.
sense.
See, but that's mad. I don't.
But if I go,
What about you?
no,
Are you in your indoctrinated mind? I don't think you are.
I'm saying.
He's saying that.
Yeah,
if
no,
I
no,
go
I'm
there, yeah, that's where I'm
No,
going.
see.
No, because I'm
You
now.
can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do
No,
that.
I'm trying to put myself in there.
If
I'm
I go
thinking,
out of
do
that, I can't explain it. I can't, like, if I go out of love, but I go to the feeling that I'm trying to align it to, I can't call it love.
Well, what you're doing is a skill, though, and what you're doing is a skill, because he can slip into his indoctrinated mind, just like we all can.
Yeah.
But he can, and he'll be like, oh wait, but it's associated to that. You are saying, no, it's not that for me, because you're not in your indoctrinated mind.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to think. What would I have thought before where I'm at now?
If I go love, I go hearts. If I go hearts, I go relationships.
Yeah.
If I go relationships, I go red.
Right.
Red heart.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If I go there, I go couples.
Right.
If I go couples, I now go to arguments.
Right.
Marriage.
Right.
Moving into the house.
The thing's been cursed, man.
And
you see what I'm saying?
But
that's that. But if I go to what I define as universal love and I come out of that and I call it less
None of that.
it's energy.
Yeah.
If I got so much energy from being around.
Yeah.
It's different now.
It's none of that.
Because it hasn't got a name. It
Right,
hasn't got.
right,
I can't
right,
even.
right.
It's just a feeling.
Right.
It's
right.
just a vibration now.
Right.
do you know what?
Do you know
I'd
what I
say so. If I try and
It's light. Some light.
if I try and do Jay's level of things, my thought is I somewhat do what you do, but my thing would be if, like, when you said like the hearts or the this and that, yeah, cool. But prior to that, my thing would have been relationships, but rather than it automatically going relationships and couples, my thing would have always been to break down relationships. So it would have been relationships, then it might be like, okay, couples, family, parents, do you see what I mean? And I think that's always how I've grown up, because, but then again, that's also because
And I've never really understood parent-child relationships. So I've never considered that as love.
But then I've always had within the way my parents have set for certain things for me, I've always had that breakdown of love isn't just that.
If I used the word in the past, right, it was so they could understand what I'm saying.
trying to say.
Right.
Do you get what I mean? But even that's
It's
still
still
reinforcing it. Right,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
But I do think that in order, and it's the same thing with identifying with an ego or identifying with your character, right? You put yourself in a prison that you can't escape. And what you don't realize is when you feel tension and turbulence from within, it's because you've minimalized what you truly are, which is everything. So you suffer. So in
I was coming from.
So in regards to the word, right, you're minimalizing and it's suffering within that, because it's not supposed to be life. It's like love has nothing to do with life in a deaf culture. Did you get what I mean? If the orchestrators have us in a deaf culture, and it's pretty evident, it's pretty evident to see that when people die, they get celebrated. And when you've got how can the zombies celebrate life
When they're dead.
when they're dead? It's impossible. It's not happening, because we know what zombies represent. So you have to, as we say, unprogram to reprogram, and know that their context, their narratives have to be killed. That's the spiritual shit that we're talking about. That's the spells that we're talking about. Because we do not celebrate their holidays every year consistently without questioning it, without that not being a spell, without something not being casted, without something not being in the air, without forces not being at work. How? It's unimaginable that that's not what it is.